Here we are again. It's never gonna end with you. We are going out carport and shed hunting.
And shed delivery service hunting also.
Yeah. So hopefully when we come back home, I will have found a carport and he will have found a shed. And we're waiting on delivery. However long that will take. Alright, battery went dead. We don't know at which point. So wherever the conversation just goes, that's where the battery went dead. I checked it. When I left, it was at 87%. And no, went dead on us.
Power low, whatever it said.
Yeah, battery low. But they don't even give you a warning. They just shut it. Well, I don't have the beeper on. You gotta have the beeper.
Yeah. See, I always wanted to turn my beeper off, but now I don't. Maybe I should leave it on.
I thought I turned the beep on, but I guess the beep ain't on because it didn't beep us.
GoPros, man.
So we wasted talk.
Yeah.
It never was recorded.
Then we stopped by a service shop, and it took me a while in there, but they were very thorough. Called different places to get parts. But I'm getting new tires, oil change, tune-up, and I'm probably going to have them do the timing belt while we're at it. So he was pricing all that out.
Not only is he addicted to hitchhiking, he's addicted to going to shops now.
Yep, and we got to go first thing in the morning. Can I hitch another ride in the morning? Well, I don't need a ride. I just need you to pick me up after I drop off the
then I'll meet Peter at the vet because he's taking his cats to the vet, and I'll give him his battery for his camera I give him.
There we go.
Maybe I should have kept that camera with this GoPros, man. I don't know. I like the quality of the GoPro, but they are very unreliable. They got a mind of their own. All these roads. Talking about tires. Is that a dog? No. Talking about how fast tires wear out here. I put these on brand new last October. It already needs new tires. And man, that's not a small bill. But it's our roads, man. Our roads are just so terrible. They just chew the rubber right off of them.
And the paved roads, not the, you expect that if you got to drive gravel every day, but these are just all...
We're on a state highway right now, and this section of it is horrible.
Yeah, they patched a little bit here and there.
Yeah, but it's all these big log trucks, dump trucks.
Yeah, they're redoing the road south of Waldron, but not north of it.
This is the worst. Did we tell them where we're going? I think so.
We're going shed shopping.
Shed shopping. Carport shopping.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can find one that has sides on it that's big. I want to get the biggest one I can get for a good price. I'm going to have to make payments. I don't really like doing that, but if I want one, that's how it's got to be. And I'll pay it off. I always pay my stuff off early. So any extra I get will always go towards that. Like my washing machine, or my dryer that I had to buy, I paid that off in 2 months. And you don't pay the interest that way, or not much, because these shed places, they charge a fee, let me tell you.
Yeah, and they sometimes will ding you for paying it off early, so you got to pay attention.
I'm going to ask them. I'm going to read it, read the fine print. Yep. But I'm going to tell them, hey, I'm going to pay this off early. But when it's paid off, I'm going to come back and get a building from you. So maybe that won't hurt them so bad, which is what I plan to do. I want to get a little, not necessarily for storage, but a shop, So I can set up my saws and go in there and grab the rooster. She could have a stoop in there. Put a TV up. Because I got that laser ride. Talked to them this morning.
Yeah, so shop, you want to insulate it?
I'm not going to put sheetrock or nothing up, but I'll put insulation in there. I'll probably just get that foam board. That stuff's good.
Yeah, that seemed pretty easy to stick in.
Yeah, and it's about $12 a sheet, and you could get, well, let's see, 16 on center, and it's 48 inches wide. I think you can get 3 8-foot sections out of that. So I don't know. I have See, compare cost.
Yeah.
Hope you guys can hear us. I'm trying to speak up. This does not have the external microphone.
Oh.
I know sometimes the road noise gets in here. Boy, this is a lot better than when I came Saturday when they had a foot race. And they
the Arkansas Marathon was in this area on Saturday.
Yeah, I see dudes running with hats on, man. You don't run with a hat on because that's where your heat escapes your body. I've never heard of that.
Dude, they're the marathon runners, so I'd let them do it.
They would not let us run with a hat in the Army. You had to take it off. Didn't matter how cold it was. We could wear, I think we could wear, it was called a pile cap. I think we wore those, but it was real cold. That's the kind that would fold down and have a face shield on it. They look goofy. I don't even know what they wear now.
But yeah, Arkansas Marathon, so they had one lane blocked off for miles.
And wherever there was people running, they had a cop car behind them. I didn't think Boonville had that many cops, man. There must have been. And they had cops at downtown blocking the road for the festival and car show. It was a mess, man. I will never go on a Saturday again.
Yeah, and then it wasn't, Walmart was all crowded.
Yeah, it was packed.
Yeah.
All right, we'll turn you guys back on when we get there. This could be a long day, so I'm not gonna waste much film. Yeah, because it takes a long time to develop the film, doesn't it? Yeah. All right, Jeff. What size is this?
This is a 12 foot by 20 foot, double lofted.
This would be big enough for a shop. It's pretty good size, and the price isn't bad. These prices have come. I mean, they don't put the plywood on the roofs. That's one thing, but that's fine. You know, it's got the metal roof. 24 on center studs, which I guess, you know, I'd rather have 16, but you pay for that. You know, if you want to get something that's going to still work, you can always add more studs and beef it up. But I don't really see the point in that.
You can order them like that also.
Yeah. I think this would be fine. I mean, it's, you know, they got some good floors in them.
They usually have warranties on the floor for water damage and stuff like that. That's another thing.
But I mean, this is plenty big enough to put my saws out and hang some pegboard. Yeah, I'd want to insulate it, but
yeah,
guys, I might have to go with this a building like this instead of a carport. I don't know. They only had one carport, but I can get a carport anytime.
We got to do more shopping.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm not just gonna buy the first one I look at. All right. Welcome to Ouachita Mountain Living. My name is Mike, and I just got home. Me and Jeff were out shed shopping all day, and just got back a little bit ago. And well, I bought one. That's right. I got a 10 by 20 shed that I'm going to make a shop out of. It's plenty big to do what I'm planning to do, and I believe I'm going to put it right here. That just seems like the best location for it. Have the doors facing that way. I don't want it real close to the house. You know, if the house was to ever catch fire, at least I'd have that. You know, the chances of that catching would probably be slim. And I don't want to put it in here. I've got a water line that goes across there. I don't want no building in front of all that. And I don't want a whole row of stuff. And I like to keep things spread out. So I've got plenty of land. And I believe right here would be a really good location. It is not the same color as the house. It's a green color. So I think it'll still look good. And I can always paint it, you know. Wouldn't be nothing to paint it to match the house, but who said it has to match? And I may just leave it the way it is. And it has a silver metal roof instead of a green. But I don't care about that. I could have ordered one custom. But then I'd have to wait, you know, for them to do that. And I got a 5% discount on the one that was already on the lot. So I should have it here next week, I'm hoping. So tomorrow we're going to go pick up some blocks. Jeff's got one he's looking at, but he's waiting to find out if they got a guy that'll move his shed to house at the same time. So he didn't want to purchase it and then find out the guy's not going to be able to move his house. So but I did purchase one, and I originally went looking for a carport, and when I seen the prices on these things, I'm like, man, they have come way down, and they were really good prices. And the one I bought is a Dirksen, which is a very good quality 16 on center. It's got the OSB roof and the metal on top of it. The first ones, if you've seen in the clip, those were not. Those were out of Ron's hardware place we have here locally. Let me get where the light's right. There. So I'm glad we went to a couple places. I was able to get all the paperwork done. The payments, I have to go with the payments because I don't got that kind of money sitting in the bank. But I will pay it off fairly fast. I always do. I don't like being in debt. But sometimes when you need something, that's the route you have to take. I pay it off early. Then maybe I'll think about a carport. But you know, it's been 10 years without a carport. I've gotten along just fine. So I mean, I really would rather have the shop. I can get so much more done if I have a good dry place to work, and I don't even need to run electric to it because I got so many of those portable power stations that'll power any tool that I have. Some of the bigger ones will. So for now, I'll just use them, but I will probably wire a light. I'm pretty much at max on my service panel for the service that I have, so I really can't run a whole lot more. I probably could run one more breaker for lights and stuff like that, and I'll probably do that. And that's another reason I want it fairly close to the house, because the service panel is right there in my office. So 60 feet of wire, you know, I could be into the panel. And there is a service panel. Let me go show you. I forgot about this. Oh, let's head this way. I had when I left this morning, I grabbed that battery that was bad. I didn't throw it away. Somehow that got it back into the mix, and me and Jeff were recording, and the thing went dead on me. So I didn't get as many clips. You know, when I say I'm going to do 20 minutes videos, that's a lot of clips, guys. So here I'm out explaining, and then you can go watch Dogman channel. I'll have the shed and all that on there. There's also a service panel on this pole out here that has breakers in it. So basically the one in the house is like a sub panel off of that one. And the only thing hooked to that right now is the well pump. So really all I got to do is run me electric line. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to do that to keep the dogs from digging it up, but I may just run one in the air, get some outdoor service wire. That 10-2 I got is outdoor south wire, and put me a pole here. The only other option is to get a whole new pole brought out here with another meter, and that would have to be on a separate bill, and it's really not necessary. And those battery boxes I got would power anything anyhow. So, but yeah, I think right here is probably the wisest place to put it. I do got these trees I plan to take down, but they're not a threat really. I mean, and the building won't be in the way when I decide to take these trees out of here. Oh, now I got to move all them poles again though. So anyway, it should be here next week. And it's kind of it's a green, has green siding. You'll see a picture of it, and I'll have it on the Dogman channel, because I got to save those clips for that channel, so you can see the pictures of it. And I believe I went inside and did a video probably a couple times, and we looked at several, and that one just seemed to be the best fit, so that's what I got. And you know, this is probably, it slopes a little bit downhill, but it's not that bad. I mean, just a couple of, probably 2 blocks in the front, and it comes on skids. That's also a Dirksen, so it's, you know, pretty good quality building. But I'll just put a couple blocks in the front and it could probably just sit on the skids here, because I don't really want it that high. I'm going to keep it as low to the ground as I can. This one, I don't even think this one's on blocks. I think it's just sitting on the skids. We'll take a look. There may be I think there's blocks in the front of it. I can't be sure. There goes UPS. You got nothing for me today, buddy? Nope. Yeah, this one, I think they got blocks in the front. Maybe not. Oh. No, this thing just sits on the skids. Yeah. Yeah, and I believe this is also a Dirksen. I've never seen a plate or anything on this shed. It was here when I bought the house. And this is, what is this? This is a 10 foot. This is probably a 10 by 16. And the one I'm getting is a 10 by 20. So yeah, it'll be plenty big to set up my saws and all, you know, bring my tools. And that's going to also help clear out this shed. I won't have to have as much stuff in here. So that'll cure my storage issues. All right. I still haven't got in there and organized them tools, but that's coming. Been kind of busy. Yeah, so right there, next week, we're going to have a building. And I'm going to get this same insulation that I was playing with the other day, the 4x8 sheets of the foam. I'm going to insulate it with that, and probably all I'm going to do. I'm probably not going to put sheetrock or any of that up. There's no reason for that. Just want it fairly warm, so I can go out there, put a little small heater in there, and a small air conditioner, and just make it a little shop. You'll see what I'm going to do. May I help you? Hey, may I help you? What did you do while I was gone all day? You were mad because your supper was late. But you're okay. Where's your other partner? I don't know. Now over here would be another option. Put the building right here. I might even like that idea better. You know, it slopes down a little bit, but nothing that can't be fixed with blocks, but I could have the doors facing this way. Yeah, but I don't like these trees there. And we all know what can happen with those trees. So this one I plan to take down anyway. It's all just twisted and broken and ugly, but I just don't trust them. And I really don't know where they ran the water line. See the window on the house? That's where the sink is, where the water line to the house comes in. I don't know if they did a straight shot to the well house. I would not have done it that way. I would have dug straight out here and then elbow over there, and I'm sure that's what they did. So I don't really want to put a building, the water comes in right here. So I don't know for sure where the water's at. Yeah, the water comes in right there in this corner. So I don't want to really block that. And I don't want the building up here anywhere. So I think, yeah, in the back is probably the best option. You know, it's going to be out in the sun, but what are you going to do? Yeah, I don't want it anywhere near the trees. It's too rough to bring something and put it back there. I wish this shed was somewhere else, but I'm not going to pay to, and I'm not going to take all this stuff in the chicken coop down. So I think that is the best option right there. There's no trees that'll, you know, I do got those. And there's really nowhere to put it that ain't going to be trees. But those trees come down, they're not going to come towards this way. All right, guys. So we're going to have some content here in the next week. So you're going to want to watch for that. And I guess that's about all I got to say. You'll have to truck on over to the Dogman channel to check the shed out. Now, the one clip you saw in this video, that was the first one I looked at. They weren't nearly, they weren't even close to being built as good as the Dirksens. So that's what I went with, and you'll see it over there. Talk to you later. Happy trails.